Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Today we are revisiting the Supernote series. In this case, we're going to be checking the latest update, the 2.5.17 update on the Supernote A6X. So let's check out and see what new updates, features, fixes, and all of this kind of stuff does the update 2.5 bring to the table. Alright, and here we are with the Supernote A6X, this time with the update showing 2.5.17. So let's go through the release notes and see what are all of the new things. Well, they have two new added functionalities or features, if you will, a bunch of optimizations and quite a few bug fixes. So let's start with the added functionalities. Well, the first thing that they list is that they have added 3 new features to move individual pages within the same notebook or between notebooks. So you now have the option to copy current page, you can cut the current page, and you can also paste the page if you do the copy current page. And you will also notice that a lot of the things have been actually changed as far as the UI goes, but most of those changes fall into the optimizations, as they say. The next thing is something that I'm very happy that has been added, and we finally have in the battery option, we have the auto power off. And now you can choose for your device to auto power off after 4, 8, or 12 hours of inactivity. And this is something that I was hoping that the Supernote platform would get, because as good the battery optimization is, in its sleep state, it still does lose some power. And there may be cases where you simply are not using the device for an extended period of time. You come back to it after maybe a week or 2 weeks, and it might be, running dry, which is something that actually happened quite a bit with the A6X, because I didn't use it that much. I would use A5X more, and whenever I would return to it, it would be like completely drained. And that's where that kind of a thing went. So no more. Now you can actually have the device power off after desired amount of hours and prevent that issue. So cool thing to see. Now let's go on to the optimization list of features, and the first one is basically this one here, the DMS. And the DMS, or the device management server, is now available for non-China residents. You can actually migrate your data to the US server, which is supposed to improve the synchronization speed, reliability, and all of these kinds of things, and compatibility with the networks. So I assume that the start migration button is for that. I haven't done it yet because I want to go through all of the features and recording of this video, so that I can then leave the device to actually do the migration of the server stuff, because that can actually take a couple of hours. So, but just so that you know that you have that option, and you can then just go start migration, and you should leave it be, and then you will be no longer on the China server but on the US server. The next thing they listed is reduce the probability of crash caused by wake up from sleep mode. I personally never experienced that, but yeah, if it was an issue, then that has been somewhat improved, I would guess. Now they also say like a lot of toolbar optimizations. There's a couple of things to note with the toolbar. The first one is, if you go into the more options, you're now able to move the toolbar to where you want it to be. So by default it's on top, but it can be placed on the bottom, or you can place it to the left or to the right side of the device. So that is a major change that has been added for how the toolbar behaves. You will also notice that the toolbar looks differently, and one of the differences is that the page number is no longer part of the toolbar, since it now contains a lot more icons, and basically the page number is displayed on the what they are calling the page number column, and this is where you will now find the page number, current page out of how many pages, and the name of the workbook. So one of the things that has been added also in regards to the toolbar is a new gesture. So 2-finger double tap will toggle the toolbar on and off, and it seems to be working fairly reliably. You don't have to do a super quick double tap. Okay, I was a little bit too slow. So yeah, so you do need a bit of a speed, but when you do kind of keep it as a double tap, it's very reliable. Okay, so that's pretty good. Then you also have double tapping with one finger on the page note bar, whatever they call it, will toggle that bar as well. Incidentally, if you tap on the page numbers, you will get this whole option to navigate with the pages, but if you tap on the name, you don't get the rename option. To rename your notebook, you go to the more options and then you go to rename. So it would be nice to have actually consistency, unless that is actually interfering with the writing and things like that. So I mean, of course, you can always disable it and then just go like this and then tap on it and rename it. So just the consistency of a user experience, that would be a good thing, unless it really interferes with the usability of this whole thing. Now, the major change with the toolbar is, as you can see, all options of pen and eraser are displayed on the menu options in the fixed toolbar. So now it's no longer nice and clean as I really liked it before. Now you have a lot of options here, and granted, yes, this is practical and some people might like it more, but personally, my personal preference is I did like the previous toolbar better, simply because it was a little bit more elegant and easier to, it was a little bit less messy. I understand the move behind it. It does make sense because it's a lot more accessible, and the way these brushes actually, the toolbar icons, they are more user-friendly and they are more responsive to the touch. So the text box is a lot better. So that works. That's also one of the improvements. And you also have the option here that you can actually choose and change what type of a pen it is, and the grayscale option as well. I preferred the old one, so maybe that's just me. In the settings and display and input option, now you have also, I guess in preferred settings, yes, you have the hand dominance option. So you can now choose the hand dominance between left-handed and right-handed, and I guess this will have an effect on how the palm rejection works and how all of these things are kind of detected by the device. Another thing that they have added is, let's say this is a note title, right? And one of the really cool things is that now we have 3 different styles of a note title, if you will, which is a really cool thing, because originally, I believe this was the original. Yes, this was the original. And incidentally, another thing that you can do is undo changes to a note title, which is also a really cool thing. So for example, if I go here, then we have 3 new styles. So at the end, we have the original styles, which was just this kind of lined indication. That one's not that readable, so that's something that people were talking about, and now you have 3 different ones. So first one, black and white, looks awesome. I really love how this one looks. And the second one is grayscale, also really nice and clean and easy to kind of differentiate on your notebook. And we have a very light gray option. There we go. So light gray with the black here. So my absolute preference here is of course the first one, because this is so easy to kind of read and check out. But this is a very welcome change, that you are able to now stylize your note titles how you would like them to be. One thing that would have been cool is that if we had an option to change the style of the existing titles, because right now I'm revisiting an older notebook that has a lot of titles here. So if I go here, we have a lot of titles here, right? But I don't know how I can change this. Clear title, yeah, well, I could clear it and then I could create it again. So yes, you can do that. but it would be nicer if we had an option to just simply, I don't know, double tap on it, or maybe not just clear title, but also an option of change title style. So that's something that's missing. Or an option to easily convert all titles to a different style for older notebooks. So that's something that is something that I wish I could do, simply because the new offered styles are really good. Some more changes are that now when you change your template, you can just simply tap on a template and it will automatically apply it. So you no longer have to do the double thing, which is select and then apply. So the apply button is also now gone, and you can just simply select the template that you want and it's applied. There's another thing that they have made as a change, and then in the overview, now when you actually select the page, you also have the move and copy functionality in the notebook overview as well, but you also have that for the current page. So that's for the selection, right? But you also have for individual and current pages, as already mentioned, in the more options here. They also added a functionality that if you are exporting a notebook as a PNG, now it will actually correctly export all of these pages with subsequent numbers. So that's something that was not actually functioning correctly before, but now it is working properly. And even if you export note pages as PNG files multiple times, newly generated PNG files will not replace the existing ones. So that's something that you may want or may not want, but it's something to definitely be aware of. There's another thing that they're saying is that it's like added four more quick access items. Now, I don't know if they're talking about adding 4 more quick access slots or types of items, because right after that you also have the list that says quick access can open by specific page or note document file, which opens the last viewed page, which means that you can actually add in this quick access, you can add an entire note, or you can add a current page. You can see which one is which. It's also possible to customize your the floating toolbar if you want to use the toolbar. So now you can choose to have the floating toolbar to use pen and eraser or pen and lasso, which is actually really cool, because if you're using the 2 fingers on the screen gesture or the eraser on a pen, then the lasso tool actually makes a heck of a lot of sense. And I guess the same approach is like this, and then so the manipulation of the actual toolbar is the same, so that makes perfect sense, and then you can just dock it here. So that's all good. When you're in a reader and you're reading a landscape oriented document, now the digest content, as they are calling it, is also going to be in a properly oriented fashion here. So your bookmarks, annotations, and everything is going to also be in landscape format. When you are in a half-page mode of a document, now they have fixed the thing so that you can actually select this, copy, and then you can go to the second half of the page and paste it as you normally would. Now this also works on, of course, other pages as well, but so that stuff actually now works. They're also reporting that the sensitivity of the pinch to zoom has been improved to avoid accidental touches. Now, as I've mentioned before, I don't really have the issue of accidental touches, so that's not something that I can successfully test or verify, because if I didn't have the issue in the first place, I don't know how to kind of verify if something I didn't have before is still not present. They're also mentioning that there's no longer a discrepancy between search results that are done on a Supernote and those on the PC or other devices. I guess on the through the documents or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what the issue there was. And for the calendar, now it is possible to actually change the time format to a 12-hour time format. And when you're switching among daily, weekly, or monthly view, the currently selected date remains unchanged. All right, and now let's change to weekly, 26th, daily, August 26th. All right, and that seems to be working as they say it does. Where do we change the format? So if you go into settings, display input, and then you have date and time, this is where you will have the option of 24-hour format on or off. And then they also have a bunch of bug fixes that I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to list them here so that you can actually check it out and see if something that was bothering you is now fixed or not with the update 2.5.17. Well, all right, so that's the update 2.5 on the Supernote platform, and it's available equally on A5X and A6X. It's already rolled out. So what's the summary? What do I think about the update? A little bit of mixed feelings. Most of the stuff is really, really good. The only mixed feelings that I have is the overall change to the toolbar. But I think that that's a natural thing to actually react cautiously, negatively, or whatever it may be to any kind of change. But if I try to be objective, the only thing that I'm negatively reacting towards in regards to the new toolbar is that it's messier and it's busier than it needs to be. I really, really loved the old toolbar because it was flexible, so you can make it busy with your custom little brushes or whatever it may be. Or you can keep it minimal if, you know, just 2 or 3 tools that you are using, which is really cool. So the way it is now, I think it's too busy for my taste and it's not something that I'm too happy with, but I do get it from the perspective of when a new user comes in to the Supernote platform that you want to lay out on the surface of the user experience all of the options that the device has so that the learning experience can be faster. So I do get that. I believe that was the whole idea, to kind of make the transition a bit easier. With that in mind, I do hope that maybe they will consider adding an option of customizing the toolbar to your own preference, because then you would have the default toolbar looking like this, busy, but everything exposed, which is fine for new users and for some users who prefer that. But if you are able to actually customize this and kind of remove all of these things and just have my 1 or 2 brushes that I'm using, one type of eraser, and arrange the icons the way I want them to be in my toolbar, then I think it's going to be an even better flexible system. Now, as far as everything else goes, I'm uber happy with the ability to auto shut down after a certain amount of time, because I've been waiting for that for a very, very long time, and now it's finally here. So I'm very happy about that. I also do love the option with the new toolbar that you can dock it wherever you want. The new page and the page in the book notebook name, that I think works well, but as I mentioned, it would be good to actually just tap and to be able to rename the book just by tapping on that option. But that's really not a big deal. You just go to an option and rename it. It's just a pedantic kind of a user experience thing to have equalization. If you tap on the numbers, you get an option. If you tap on the name, you get the option to rename the book. Kind of makes sense, but okay, I get it. So overall, I really like the fixes, the improvements and everything that has been kind of added in the update 2.5, and actually brings a lot to the table when you pop the hood up and see everything that's there. So I do love the focus, and it's a very nice mixture of new improvements and fixes. It's like a very nice blend of all of these things, and it just kind of pushes the platform even further forward. And I think it's a really welcome change as well to have the US server present. So and here's the airplane yet again. Game on, lost my train of thought. Update 2.5 moves the Supernote platform in a very nice direction as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell in the description down below. Also, if you like my work and you want to support it in some way, I invite you to check out the My Daily Organizer. My Daily Organizer has been carefully designed to offer a comprehensive yet effortless all year round experience. If used daily and in a recommended fashion, My Daily Organizer, or MDO for short, can significantly improve your productivity, effectiveness, and efficiency in both professional and personal settings. settings. Full interactivity with over 11,000 hyperlinks spreading throughout the entire document. Dedicated Monday and Sunday week start versions of the document. Full year calendar with access to any month, quarter, and day of the year. Quarterly organizer also with access to the months and the days of the selected quarter. Monthly organizer with quick links to weeks each day and also some room for organizational and planning notes for that month. Weekly organizer is also available with access to each day of the week, and you also have one extra weekly notes page. The daily organizer side offers a daily planner page, 2 dedicated note pages, and a diary page for each day of the year, which can help keep track of your short and long-term goals. And you also have access to 99 cataloged and numbered My Notes pages, and the same thing with 99 cataloged My List pages. There are 3 different cover styles to choose from depending on your personal preference, and there's also a dedicated left-handed version of the MDO created especially for the Remarkable platform. MDO has multi-platform compatibility for the Remarkable, Supernote, and Books platforms. It can and will work on other platforms as well. Main prerequisites are that the platform has a dedicated PDF reader with support for writing annotations into the PDF and of course hyperlink functionality. If you would like to learn more about how MDO works, check the videos in the My Daily Organizer playlist in the description below. Or if you already like how MDO sounds and it's something that can help you better organize your professional and or personal life, then you can buy it at mydeepguide.com/shop. That's it from me. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!